I'm not really sure whether we can call it waning of immunity. It is certainly waning of antibodies, but as I keep impressing, antibodies are only just one arm of the immune system.
On 20th of November, the US FDA approved the use of COVID vaccine booster shots for all adults over the age of 18. According to the health authority, this was done in light of the rising number of COVID cases in the country, as well as concerns of the vaccines waning over time. But the US isn't the first country to do so. A number of countries, including Israel, Italy, Germany, and France, started offering COVID vaccine booster shots to their citizens after seeing a resurgence of COVID cases in spite of having a high vaccine coverage. Why do COVID vaccines start waning? Is it a cause for concern? Will India start administering booster shots too? Do you need a booster shot? To answer these questions and more, today I'm joined here with Dr. Shahid Jamil. Thank you so much for joining me, Dr. Jamil. To begin with, can you explain what it means for vaccines to be waning?
So let's go back first to see how vaccines work. There are two types of protection that any vaccine gives. One is called antibody based protection, and the other is called T cell based protection. Now, antibody based protection simply means that once we are given a vaccine or once we are exposed to an infectious organism, the body makes these molecules called antibodies, which are secreted, and they neutralize the virus on contact for any future infections. The T cell immunity does not neutralize viruses that are infecting, but they seek out and destroy virus infected cells. Much of the discussion that we have these days, when we say waning immunity, we are essentially measuring only the antibodies and saying that once when you got the vaccine, a month after getting the vaccine, you had certain antibody level, but 6 months later your antibody level has gone down, and therefore your immunity must have gone down. That's not always the case, because you're not measuring T cells really. So what I'm getting at is that all of this process does not prevent infection, rather it prevents what happens downstream of infection, which is disease. And this is something that we have seen in COVID as well. People may be getting infected again after getting vaccines, but the disease is hardly there. It's very mild or asymptomatic.
So, we do know now from a number of studies as well as real world evidence that vaccines do tend to kind of wane over time. So, why does this happen?
Uh, of course, there are multiple factors. Everyone does not behave the same. So, for example, a 25-year-old will raise much more robust and long lasting immunity than somebody who's 70 years old. With age, this wanes. Somebody who has other chronic conditions will not raise as good an immune response as somebody without that. And that is really the logic that many countries are using for boosters. They're saying, we'll give boosters to people who are in the high risk category. So I'm not really sure whether we can call it waning of immunity. It is certainly waning of antibodies, but as I keep impressing, antibodies are only just one arm of the immune system. As your antibodies go down, you become more prone to infection, but you don't become more prone to disease. That's the point that I'm trying to emphasize. Even the flu vaccine, there is a new flu strain that circulates every year. And that's why we have to get vaccinated with the flu vaccine every year, at least once you're above 55 or 60, you should get vaccinated for flu. Same thing happens. You do get infected. I'm infect. I have taken the flu vaccine, yet last week I had the flu. It doesn't mean that the vaccine didn't work. It simply means that my flu could have been much worse had I not taken the vaccine. So there's nothing unusual about the COVID at all. It's behaving very similar to what other viruses and other viral vaccines behave like.
Right. So you mentioned flu shots. Do you see COVID vaccines also becoming, an annual or a biannual thing like the flu shots in the future?
Well, we don't know the answer to that. And we don't know the answer simply because longer term studies just haven't been done. Uh, so, if the strain keeps changing, then I guess we will need, you know, annual or maybe boosters every 2 years. But remember, viruses cannot change endlessly. There will come a point where further change will actually be bad for the virus and you will never see those viral populations. So if that happens, then you will not need additional boosters. From what I can see happening right now, if not annual boosters, we might need boosters every 2 to 3 years. But then I must emphasize that longer term studies are just not available at this point to answer that question.
Now, coming to India, there have been talks of starting booster doses for healthcare workers to begin with, while there is also a strong voice saying that there isn't any need for booster shots in India yet, at least as of yet. What is your sort of stand on this? Do you think India needs to start booster doses soon? Should we already have started? What is your take on this?
Well, see, countries that are giving boosters have reached a point of saturation with their vaccines. They are also way ahead on vaccinating children, which is the next group. And they have therefore then opened up boosters. For India, I think the priority first should be to get the 2 shots to people who are eligible to get the 2 shots, instead of just panicking and starting to give boosters to people. Uh, because after all, the amount of vaccine available is finite, and the ability to deliver vaccines is finite. So if you have to make a choice between giving 2 doses of vaccines to as many people or limiting that and giving boosters to a few people, I would prefer the former. That's at a population level that gives much better protection. But if there is one group of people who should get boosters, that's the healthcare workers.
Also, lastly, have there been any comparative studies that look at the various COVID vaccines and their booster shots to kind of compare the efficacies, which ones would be more suitable for boosters, elicit better responses? If so, can you tell us a little bit about this?
Yes, there are several studies, and what's turning out is that the 2 RNA vaccines, the Moderna and the Pfizer vaccine, are the best, both in terms of sort of protecting from Delta variant reinfection, as well as waning antibody levels. But I might add again that we're only looking at antibodies there. The AstraZeneca vaccine, which in India is called Covishield, is the best in class vaccine as far as T cells are concerned. But that's not what we are measuring when we are talking about this whole thing. That's the data that I have seen. And the killed vaccines, there is either very little data on them, or the data is not of a quality that you can really rely on at this point.